Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Laura, aka glowwithloulou, and today I'm gonna be filming a Shop My Stash makeup video. So the way Shop My Stash videos work is I basically go through my makeup collection and either find stuff that I've had in my makeup collection but have never used, or stuff I used to use and then forgot about them, or stuff that I barely used. And I basically sit down and use them and rediscover some things or discover some new things with those products. So I already went through my makeup collection and I gathered in front of me a bunch of stuff that I have not used in a while or I have never used. I already went ahead and did my brows, so for that I used the Fenty Beauty Brow MVP. Usually lately I've been using a brow pomade for my brows and I kind of drifted away from brow pencils. So this is kind of why my brows look a bit more natural right now. I'm going to be starting off with the eyes today because the eyeshadow palette that I'm using is one that I've only used maybe once or twice, so I don't really remember whether it had fallout or not. It's gonna be the Bright Lights palette from Pinky Rose Cosmetics. I have used like the purple in this palette and I've used the green before as well, but I don't think I've used any of the other colors. But I really actually like this palette. It's great for rainbow looks. It even has some pressed glitters in there if you like that. I am not a pressed glitter person, so I probably don't see myself ever using those, although this Dazzle color is so beautiful. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in so we can start off with the eyes. Alright, so I'm actually using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Eye Primer for today's look. I've only maybe used this like twice and I actually really like it, but I got some on my lashes, okay. I actually really like it, but I just don't like how it's not tinted. You'll always catch me using my paint pot from MAC because it is tinted and it really cancels out the discoloration on my lids. But I do like this eye primer. It doesn't crease and it remains tacky, so it really holds on to the pigment of the eyeshadows. So for the eye look, I'm only going to be going into two colors from the palette. I'm going to be going into the bright pink, which is called Becca, and the bright green, which is called Smash, and I'm applying each color on one eye. So this look is gonna be like one color on the lid, except each eye is gonna be a different color. I'm gonna start by packing this on. Ooh, that's really bright and pigmented. And I'm gonna start bringing that into the crease. I'm also going to slightly wing out the edge, and then I'm gonna pick up that same color on a fluffy blending brush and then just start using windshield wiper motions to blend out the color. One thing to note is that there is a bit of kickback in the actual palette, but there's no fallout on my eyes. And once I'm satisfied with the blend, I'm going to go ahead and do the same steps for the other eye. The green is not as bright as the pink, but once you layer it on, it looks a bit brighter. And the green does not have any kickback in the pan, so that might be why the pink was a lot more pigmented. I guess it just wasn't pressed as hard as the green one was. One really weird thing to note about this palette is that there's barely any shimmers in it. So you only get two shimmers, the shade Glitz, which is this bright blue, and the shade Boom, which is a dark blue. As I'm blending the green out, the edges are turning a bit more on like the mustard yellow side, as you can see, and you can very clearly see my veins through the shadow. So with the pink side you can barely see my veins, maybe a bit at the top where the blend is a bit smoother, but with the green eyeshadow you can very clearly see my veins, which is why I like tinted primers, because that would prevent that from happening. The colors are blending very easily and very smoothly. I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys out so that we can do the base now. So I'm going to be using two primers. This is a mini like trial size version of the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched face base. It's supposed to be very moisturizing and hydrating on the skin. You guys know I like hydrating primers. As soon as I touch it, I've never used this before. It's very thick and cold, like cool. It feels very moisturizing and kind of smells like lemon, and it does feel a little tacky as well. In my T-zone, I'm going into the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Mattifying Primer. This primer tends to react with every single other primer that I've tried with it. So let's see if it's gonna do the same with this one. Is it not reacting? It literally starts peeling off my face whenever I use the Smashbox primerizer, whenever I use the Makeup Forever hydrating primer, and I always like to use hydrating primers on the outer portion of my face and mattifying ones on my T-zone. So I'm really happy to see that it does not do that with this primer. So for foundation, I'm using a holy grail of mine. This is the Maybelline Me Matte and Poreless foundation. I have used this foundation for years and years and years, and I really love it. The only reason I haven't used it lately is because the shade I have is a bit too dark. It's my summer shade, and I always use it in the summertime. But right now that I'm self-tanned, I think this would be perfect for me. It might be just a tad bit too dark, but that's fine. We can fix that with concealer. My only complaint about this foundation is please do a pump. I'm just gonna pick that up on the back of my beauty blender and apply it directly to my face. I think this would be a good match. Yeah, I saw on the Maybelline Instagram that they were really, I'm not sure if it's this foundation or if it's a new foundation that they're releasing, but it's called Me Matte and Poreless, so it should be the same exact one. But basically they're releasing it in a tube, so it's gonna be like a squeezy tube. So I really hope that's the case, because the one thing I hate about this foundation is the packaging. Alright, I went ahead and color corrected underneath my eyes. I only have one product for my color corrector, which you guys know is my Becca Undereye Brightener. For concealer, I'm going into the Essential High Coverage Concealer from Jouer. I actually really like this concealer, but I just got super caught up with the Tarte Shape Tape and the new L'Oreal concealer I've been testing out, so I just kind of haven't really been using this as much. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute before I blend it out. Alright, and for powder, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder. I think this is gonna be a bit too light for my actual tan right now. To set the rest of my face, just because I feel like that Fit Me powder is going to be a bit too light for the rest of my face, I'm going to go into the MAC Studio Fix Powder Foundation. This one's in the shade NC40, and I'm just going to dust that over the outer portions of my face. Okay, so I just went ahead and zoomed you guys in again just so that we can do mascara and the lower lash line. So I'm going into the same exact colors on the lower lash line and then just running them through. I'm first using a pencil brush to pack on the color. And then with that same blending brush, without adding any product, I'm just going to blend the color out. And I'm also going to re-blend the edge of the shadow because we kind of lost that blown out look once we added the concealer. Alright, I know this isn't like a product that I haven't used in a while, but I'm gonna go into the Pastel Frost Snapshadow by Fenty. And I'm gonna use the pink shimmer as an inner corner highlight here and the green one as an inner corner highlight here. For mascara, I don't really have anything new to try out, but I have yet to test out the new Anastasia Lash Bag Mascara with my favorite lash primer, the Marc Jacobs Velvet Lash Primer. So I think that's what I'm gonna do today. I am concerned, I've had this for a while now and it looks like it's getting dry. So it might clump up the mascara a little bit, but I'm just still gonna test it out anyways. If you would like to see how I do my lashes with those products, then I'll link a video down below of my mascara routine and then you can go ahead and watch that. Okay, that actually turned out really nice. I really like those two products together. I feel like if my Marc Jacobs wasn't a little dry, then that would have worked out perfectly, but it's fine, I'll just repurchase one soon, I guess. Okay, however, I am gonna pop on lashes. I just got the rayanbeautyy lashes. I got the styles Fleek, Leek, and Aries. This is what Aries looks like, and this is what Fleek Leek looks like. Upon first glance, they don't look that much different, but Aries is a lot fluffier, a lot wispier, and a lot more volumized. I think I'm gonna use Fleek Leek today. I'm gonna go ahead and pop them on off camera, and I will be right back. Alright, I went ahead and applied the lashes on, and they were actually really easy to put on. I'm super impressed. I am someone who does not get along with lashes well, so I'm super impressed with these. I am gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of the base. So for bronzer, blush, and highlight, I'm using one palette. I bought this like a year ago and I never touched it. I was still working at Shoppers at the time, and it was like maybe like a month before I left, and I had my discount, and this was like really good value. I think it was like $80, and you get 5 full-size products in here. So really good value, but then I never touched it. I don't know why. I have used both of these products, the Gold Rush brush and the Hoola bronzer. I've used those before and I do really like those. By the way, I think I forgot to say what this was. So this is the Benefit Cheekleaders palette. I have the Bronze Squad, which I don't think they sell this anymore, but I think they sell something similar to this. So I'm picking up Hoola Caramel and I'm using that as my bronzer. I'm gonna go light-handed with this because the Hoola bronzer is pretty pigmented, so I can only assume that this one is gonna be pigmented too. Okay, yeah, that definitely is pigmented. I only dipped in it like maybe once, and look how much color that gave. It is definitely a bit more golden than the original Hoola. The original Hoola is like a good contour shade for me. Definitely go in with a light hand with this product, because if you go in too heavy, it's gonna look patchy and it's gonna look like it's too much. So it's one thing to keep in mind. And now I'm going to dip into the Coralista blush. I've never tried the Benefit blushes aside from Gold Rush, but that one's more like a blush topper. It's a bit dusty and I'm not seeing a lot of color payoff. Like, it's adding a hint of color, but not too much, which I'm not mad about because I don't want my blush to be too peachy and take away from the eyes. Yeah, I feel like this isn't doing much. I'm kind of disappointed because this would have been a really pretty blush color. Like, literally nothing is coming off and I am like digging my brush in there. The part I'm most excited about is actually the highlighter. I've heard amazing things about this cookie highlighter, so I'm super excited to try that. Ooh. Alright, it might be a bit too ashy for me right now, but I think once my self-tan fades, this would look really pretty. I'm just gonna go ahead and use my Milk Kush Fiber Brow Gel just to add a bit more volume to my brows, because that brow pencil makes them look really natural. Okay, I think I have a lip combination. So I'm going in with the Pat McGrath Permagel Ultra Lip Pencil in the shade Contour. Again, I'm going to use this to overdraw my lips. And then I'm going into the Stila liquid lipstick in the shade Fia. I used to love this. It's like the perfect gray brown nude. And I also love the formula of the Stila liquid lipsticks because no matter how dry your lips are, it's not gonna emphasize that. I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I haven't done a matte lip in so long. Last step before I forget is setting spray. I have this like mini Urban Decay De-Slick setting spray, so I'm gonna be using this guy. I changed my mind. I want to add a bit of gloss. This is the Stila lip gloss in the shade Golden Parachute. Yeah. Okay, and that is it for today's video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. Let me know if you guys like these kind of shop my stash videos. I definitely enjoyed doing it because I have a lot of makeup products that I barely use or that I forget about all the time. So I would love to do these kind of videos to kind of re-explore and try out some new things that I may or may not have loved in the past. If you enjoyed watching this video, then make sure to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and turn the notification bell on so that you can get notified every time that I post. That is it for today's video, you guys. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next time. Bye!